Good evening, everybody. Welcome to She Said, She Said. Tonight is going to be a different night because it's one of the few times that we're going to be featuring a school. Yes, a school. You heard us right. So she said that it's so nice when people are into education.
Yeah, especially the young ones. See,
Especially
I'm
the
saying you're
young
young, huh?
ones. Yeah, very
Okay,
young.
yeah, young.
Yeah.
And she said that she's never met such an entrepreneurial.
You got it.
She's never met such an entrepreneurial family as the Ledesmas.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lex Ledesma.
Hi, Lex.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.
You know why I say that?
Yes, okay, your family
Yeah,
is into.
well, a lot
your-
of things. Like Cheese has the shake place. What's it called
Yeah,
again?
the Big Chill.
The Big Chill. That's Cheese.
Oh, okay.
And then
Your
Lex, sister.
sister.
Yes,
Yeah.
my sister.
And the other sister, well, back then, was selling the Havaianas in the
Yes.
gift shop in Nami.
She's still doing that.
Oh,
And
okay.
they own
Yeah.
Nami. The family owns Nami.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
And then Lex had this
Okay.
like sing-along
Karaoke King.
karaoke cage where you, well,
Yeah.
where
You
okay,
bring
you explain
around?
that.
No, you can sing it in the mall and then feel like a recording artist. Yeah.
Okay, it's a booth.
Yes.
Okay, I know
Yeah.
that. It's a small booth, and then you go inside.
You go inside, you
and then
record a
play, and
CD.
you record a
And
song, and you
get
come
to
back
take
with a CD.
out. Yeah.
Oh, many
And I have a
people
new
do that.
business. I opened a restaurant, Whistle
Where?
Stop.
Whistle
I got
Stop,
the
old
the old Whistle Stop. I got the rights for Whistle Stop, so it's open 24 hours,
Where?
7 days a week on Jupiter between Fiamma and Starbucks.
Oh,
Fiamma
you
and
moved it up
Starbucks.
Yes.
the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, what's same? Everything same.
Everything's the same. The
So
same
they have
cooks, the same
misalita,
everything.
The pandesal,
Everything.
Yeah, and they have the Hainanese. my
Everything,
favorite.
everything.
with the gift shop.
And the
with
kwapao.
PX.
Yes, PX Goods. Yeah. Everybody remembers the PX Goods
I remember
for
PX
one
Goods.
reason or
Because we
another.
were still in school, and we used to go out
Yeah.
at night, and that was our favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
shop.
and when you want to shop, right, that late at night, you
Yes.
get PX Goods.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where are you gonna get your stuff for the PX Goods?
You should go and check it out. See what we have.
It's
there.
open already.
Yeah, we opened about 6 weeks ago.
Oh,
And you have
okay.
partners in this? Or
I have
just,
one business partner. Yeah. So
Right.
it's just the two of us.
Really? And how did you know about the owner? I mean,
They're
your
family friends, but they migrated
Okay.
to the States, so they shut all the restaurants down.
Oh, is that why?
Yes.
Because we always use, I mean, of course, the one in Jupiter
Yes.
was the
yes.
original, and then the one in Libis.
Libis, there was
Same
And then
size,
Tomas
like
Morato.
log
Morato,
cabin-ish
I mean, we-
Sukat,
we would
Alabang,
always-
Etsashanga. There were lots of
Yeah,
branches.
we would really go to that. We always
Yeah.
have our meetings.
Yes.
Used to be, right? It was the place to be.
I know.
Yeah. So are you
and the
gonna
food.
branch out in other
Hopefully.
parts of town as well?
Hopefully.
So
Yeah.
it's so new. I'm glad it's back because I
Yes.
know many of my friends, whenever we pass wherever, we say, oh my God, just know where Whistle Stop. I mean, we grew up with Whistle Stop.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
I
nostalgic.
mean, nobody had those products, those PX goods long time ago, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
you're in school and you get chocolate there, you get cologne, or you get
Yes.
something.
I know.
Espadrilles. They used to sell-
Espadrilles!
they used to sell espadrilles.
But they were probably
Espadrilles
out of stock.
there.
Yeah,
Like
they had
only,
espadrilles
one
there, yeah.
basic color.
Yeah, and
like
they-
the
and they
plain
had
dark
shirts.
blue.
And then
Shirts
Hanes
and
shirts and
pants.
things.
Plain shirts
And
everything,
t-shirts
right?
and oh my God. I mean, not that I used to buy
Chocolate.
chocolate
Oh my God.
and colognes.
Yes.
Baby colognes. Right.
Spanish colognes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
another thing that, well, another of the million things that Lex is into. Alexis pala. I found out
Alexis,
tonight.
yeah.
He's
Yes.
Alexis.
I like Lex.
Well, he
Okay.
used to write for a newspaper as well. But what he's really into now are schools. So they have this, you know when you're passing by like Paseo de Rosa and you see this really nice building on the right side.
Okay.
And it looks like a huge, nice house.
Yeah.
It's
That's your
the one
office.
school.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. How did that start?
It actually started because I was a very bad student. I'm not.
I've never believed that.
No, I was a really bad
Okay,
student.
what school?
I went to Ateneo for high school and I went to
Okay.
LaSalle for college.
Oh, why did you
And-
downgrade?
Well, let's not get into that. There might be other people watching from the other school.
Yeah, I
so,
know.
Our guests last week, there were like 4 last night.
Okay. But bottom line, I just wasn't very good at it. It was
Okay.
the traditional metrics for education, and I never really got along.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I graduated and was doing, I was doing a lot of entrepreneurial type ventures, I realized that the metrics for success outside of school and the metrics for success inside of school are actually polar opposites of each
I
other.
agree. Yes.
And so we said, why do we need to create educational systems which are different from the systems outside of the school environment? So that was the whole thought process behind it. And so we put up this school called the One School.
How did you get the idea? Did you just search online?
Yeah, I did a lot of research. I had a lot of business mentors also, so I have business partners and things like that. And the whole concept behind it was to create a learning institution which is personalized rather than traditional, and the metrics for success would be quite different. So in a regular school, you would have lecture-based learning. You'd have
Yes.
40 to 50 people in a classroom. And with this one, with our system, we use project-based learning, small classroom interaction, a lot of mentoring, less pen and paper testing, and more practical skills. So, and it's a good balance. And even
really
things,
sounds-
and even things where, like for example, students can negotiate for how many absences they're allowed and things like that, because we feel that the skill in negotiating is
It's
very,
not-
very important.
yes, yeah,
and
it's not
each
learned.
and each class requires a different expertise. Like you can have mathematics, which is building blocks. You need to be there every time, and you can be learning Photoshop, wherein if you
You
can
get
do
it.
it and you can learn it without going to class all the
Yes,
time,
yes.
and you can show that you can do it, then you don't need to be in class every time. So we allow the teachers and the students to create different contracts depending on what class they're actually teaching.
Yeah, that's good, because if somebody goes to school and maybe he doesn't jive with a system, his self-esteem will go down and everything. It doesn't mean that you're not smart, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And here, I'm sure there are all these ways that you help a child, a student, have high self-esteem.
Yes. I think at the end of the day, what we feel is that there are different schools for different kinds of students. Except if you're a non-traditional learner, you have no options. Because if you look at all the schools, the quote-unquote top-tier schools and the not-so-top-tier schools, the metrics for success, the methodology is identical. The only thing that differentiates the two is the entrance requirements of one are more rigid than the other. So we said, why not just reinvent the wheel and start from scratch and say, let's create a place where learning in and of itself is fun, because learning should be fun. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah, and
But-
if you have a look, if you go there, you have a look. I mean, you can take a tour around.
Yeah.
You'll see that the students have very good relationships with the teachers.
We've done away with the whole sir and ma'am thing, actually.
Ma'am,
That's one-
sir.
That's one thing which we said, let's not do hierarchy, because we believe that teachers need to earn the respect of the students the same way students earn the respect of the teachers.
Yes.
And you don't walk in with a hierarchy already in place. So it's kind of different. It's interesting.
And it's a nice building
Yeah,
too.
it is interesting.
Yeah.
But what do you do about people like, of course, I'm used to the traditional kind, and I'm interested in that. I mean, like, how would you encourage me to really try it out for my student? Because, I grew up in that school, and, you feel that you want to let your children go through what you did.
Yeah, let them
Well,
suffer the way we did, right?
The thing
Yeah.
is, the way I see it is, it's not a school for every kind of student. So the best way to find out, and we encourage this a lot, is say, come to our school, sit in, have parents sit in, have
Oh, you can
students
sit
sit.
in.
Yeah, sit in and see if it's for you. Because if it's not for you, I mean, I believe that there's no such thing as a student that cannot learn if the student is committed. The
Yes.
big problem, I think, is that people aren't committed.
Yes.
And people that are successful in life are those that have a goal and then they do it. And some days you don't want to do it, but you'll still do it. But it's that kind of commitment. So early on, we get the student to come in and say, this is something that I believe in. This is something that I will work towards. And that student will learn for sure, because we get good teachers. But if the student themselves aren't, if they aren't sold on this whole process, then there's no way to teach a student who isn't interested
Yeah,
to
then
learn.
don't get those teachers.
Exactly.
Is the clip we
And
have of the one
students-
school or of Shift?
Shift is actually a new program that we have. We teach intermedia arts and film. And we feel this is an emerging technology, an emerging field wherein digital mediums are
Yes.
continuing and becoming stronger and stronger. So we have 2 new business partners. That's Quark Henares, who's handling the film program.
Mark, hello.
And
Hi,
we have-
nephew.
we have-
He's my uncle pala, di ba?
He's your
Remember,
uncle.
he's my mom, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
he's your uncle, and
Yeah.
he's my nephew. So I'm your
No, no. Okay, it's all about yeah.
And then
Family.
we have Team Manila that they have everything from web design, graphic design, etc.
Oh, let's
They do
thank
the
them for our shirts.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
very
thank
much.
for the shirts you're standing over. Yeah.
So Team Manila is handling the graphic design part, which we call intermedia, which is basically creating still and moving images using digital mediums. So we feel that these are people that are representative of this sort of new generation of entrepreneurs that are making the most out of their skills in artistic fields, but actually being able to be profitable doing that. We don't want to create a school where it's an art for art's sake type environment.
Yes.
We want that people have the artistic skills, they can actually make businesses around it. But that's the same with our fashion program, School of Fashion and the Arts.
You know the Project
Ami-
Runway?
Yes.
That's there.
That's our partner
Okay,
school.
I watched that.
And Amina Aranas Alunan is our partner for that program, and she's the one who
Okay.
handles
Remember the
that.
bag I gave you for Christmas?
Yes,
Butter,
that's right.
yeah.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
very
So
much.
again, young
daughter keeps taking it
young
from me.
entrepreneurs who sort of just want to do things very differently and look at what is out there and say maybe we can create a different environment. Not better or worse. We're not here to say we're the best
Better,
school,
yes, yes.
but there are some students who aren't meant to go to a regular school,
Yes, yes.
and we want to provide an alternative, an option. We don't think we're stealing students away from other schools. We're trying to create our own market that isn't a poor copy of another brand.
Okay,
So we have the
how
clip
old?
of what? Of Shift or of one
This
school?
is of the one school. It's a 15 seconder, and we have some photos as well
Let's
of the
watch
different
it.
partners.
Yeah. For those people that haven't seen it or
Yes, yeah, I haven't
like
seen
past
it,
Pas-
yes.
Okay,
Paseo
awesome.
de Rosa or never noticed it, we'll watch the clip.
And how old can you start? How old is the youngest student?
Well, it's basically college and
I
also
see.
skills training. So for the skills training courses, it's any age because you can come in and just take one specific class. And then we have a college program as well in entrepreneurship and fashion design.
So college and beyond.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, how exciting!
Oh, your numbers, your telephone numbers.
Yes, 817-4391 and 817-4396. And then we have a website, theoneschool.org. We also have summer programs starting this April. So
Here, there
One
you
school
go.
is ONE or
you
just
go.
one?
ONE.
ONE.
Personalized card. Oh.
Personalized college.
See, I like the.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I like the
design.
graphics. Yeah. Okay, maybe we can run that one more time. I want to see it
It's
again.
not 15 seconds. It's
It
less.
is.
Really?
Personalized stand.
Who made this?
this is actually made by a good friend of mine, Sid Maderaso. He's a commercial director.
Right. See, nice and simple. So
It
that's
is.
yeah.
It is 15 seconds.
Yeah, it is. You counted.
Yeah, no, I can tell.
So the website
Yes.
again, Lex, for those that were able to count.
Theoneschool.org, O-R-G.
Oneschool.org.
Yes.
Okay, so did you take anything there?
Yeah, I've taken a lot of the subjects. I just took a class which is a merging of marketing, Photoshop, and photography. And it's amazing because I can now make my own work and I can, make my own graphic design. I mean, on a small scale, I think it's really good because if you learn how to take photographs, you learn how to edit them, and you learn how to create marketing materials out of that. Regardless of where you end up, you will use that kind of skill.
Yes. So before that, before you took that, what were you already doing?
I was hiring people to do that work. But I was actually doing a lot of the entrepreneurship course. I teach some of the entrepreneurship classes.
Like
so,
what?
Oh, okay.
I teach everything from...
See, now you're a teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he is
teach
a
everything from business communication to entrepreneurship, public speaking and debate. A lot of different things.
So at public speaking.
That's
what
why
you-
he's friends with Wilson.
Yeah, we were actually
Ah.
debate teammates in college.
Really?
Yes.
And who
He
would
wa-
always win?
We were in the same team and we have very different personalities. So I think we
Very
we
different.
made a good team because when you're the same, then you're not successful. But if you're different, then you can work well together.
Okay, so what do you teach in what is speech class and like what?
I think in all of the classes, what we really teach is that we allow the students to find out who they are and speak from that voice. It works for public speaking. It works the same in entrepreneurship, fashion design, film, intermedia. It's the same thing. It's that rather than expecting them to learn from an outside source, we find what is good in them already, that sort of genius within that specific student, and help them to build confidence around that. And with whatever it is that they really are passionate about, whatever it is they really want to do, we help them to create their life and their business around that. So it's helping them to find themselves and build self-confidence, which I think is lacking in a lot of schools. I mean, there's all this instruction that goes on, formulas, learning, memorization, etc. But if the student is not happy when they look at themselves in the mirror, then how can they be successful at anything? So we spend a lot of time, it's called self-mastery or personal mastery, just basically helping students to find themselves and then speak from that voice. It's the same with public speaking as well, is that I always tell my students, don't try to speak like somebody else. Just speak the way you normally speak to your parents or to a friend, but speak about things that you actually care about, and then people will listen. Because what makes people listen isn't the cadence, it isn't the voice, it isn't the methodology, but it's that you care about what you're saying. That's what makes people listen. And it's the same when you're starting a business. I have students that have started very successful businesses. One of my students runs a DJ school called Spin City. It's actually there as well. And he converted his passion into something he's making money off. I have another student who's a furniture designer, and he's making beautiful furniture and selling that. And he has like 4 or 5 people on his team already. So they started with something that they were interested in. We equipped them with skills, gave them a mentor, which we think is really important. Somebody who will be your business and life guide and will help you even outside of the classroom environment. And then let them run with the ball. And with students, most often, if they like what they're doing, they'll come into class, they'll do the work. I don't believe young people are lazy. I think young people are bored, and easily bored, especially now with all this technology and all of that. But if you can get somebody to come in and say, this is important to you today, not 5 or 10 years from now, then they will listen. They'll do the work. And we've been very happy with our students.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking about public speaking, and don't you think people like in politics have an edge? They're able to speak well and they're able to explain things well, but then maybe sometimes that's all they have and that's all they can offer.
Yeah, I think that's something that is apparent in a lot of people. But what I feel is that we make our change however we can. And so for me and this school, we're really trying to create that environment wherein each student is different and they celebrate